Farmer count his cows with? I told you.
I don't know.
Calculator.
Wow.
I have one.
And what does he
I'm
measure
sorry.
his lawn with? A yardstick.
Oh boy.
Wow. Those are good.
Silence in the
funny.
crowd.
That was good.
I have one.
All right.
Go on.
How does a meat butcher introduce his daughter?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
With a knife?
Good one. Meet Patty.
Patty.
Nice.
Well, that's better than I.
All right. Why don't we start with each of you can introduce yourself and how old you are, and then we'll start asking questions.
And where you
Introduce
fall in the
ourselves and
line.
what?
How old you are,
And where you fall.
where you fall in line in the family.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and we'll start with the oldest.
Okay. You ready?
Yep, we're ready.
Okay, my name's Jenny. I'm 88 years old. I'm the oldest of the bunch. Good job.
Very nice.
Good job. Want to know anything else? I'm
Not
old.
yet.
And my name's Dave, and I am the second youngest, and I'm 80 years old. And I'm the only boy
Yeah.
with
Living.
5 sisters.
Lord have mercy.
Yes.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
My name is Betty. I am the youngest of 6 children. And I think sometimes I was known as the spoiled brat. But at any rate, my name when I went to school was Elizabeth Jane Herbert. But I was known as Betty growing up the first 5 or 6 years. So then when it was time to go to school, my mother said, "This is the name that you're supposed to write on your paper." So I had to study it a little bit because it was a little bit long. So, I forgot my age. I am 78 at the moment, and I will be 79 on September the 18th.
So, growing up, what was bath time like in the house when you were younger, and then how about when you got older?
What's this? What did he say?
Bath time.
I don't know
Bath time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Get
we
the
never
bath.
had a bathtub. Oh, wait a minute. We
had a
did have a
stationary-
bathtub. It was.
Hey, now, when I was little, I don't know how old I was, but we used to get a bath in the kitchen,
Yeah.
and we had a
It was a
round
circular bathtub.
galvanized.
We brought it up from the basement.
No, listen. And we used to have to put the water on the stove. We had a big tea kettle. Put the water on the stove. You boiled it, and you poured it in this tub. And we got a bath in that tub. Now,
With some cold water at.
when we got older, I don't know what year it was, but the neighbor brought over a long-sized bathtub.
Oblong bathtub.
Oh, that was a
farmers water their cattle in.
We had that in the basement.
and that was
No
put down in the
cows.
basement.
Yeah. And stayed
And
there.
yes, and once again, we had to heat up the water.
There was a hot plate. a
Yeah,
we
gas
had to
hot
dump it
plate
out.
in the basement.
Yeah,
Hot plate.
Yeah, hot. It was a
Yes.
gas hot plate, and you had to light the burner because it didn't have a pilot on it. Yeah, and it would
boy, how'd we
heat the
ever make
water that way.
yeah.
Yeah.
So then, but when you were done, then guess what? Then you
Yeah.
get your bucket again and you start
Dump it out.
scooping it all out. And then when you got down at the bottom, I can remember I just picked the
Oh,
tub
yeah.
up and put it, because there was a sink right
There was
there.
a sink in the
remember? There was a
basement.
sink right there.
There was a sink in
That's
the
how we
basement.
used to get a bath. That, when I was courting your daddy,
Still there.
yeah, that's what, because we only had like a toilet off of the kitchen. That's how we grew up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you have a curtain in the corner, just dead smack in the middle, and you're taking a bath?
In the kitchen,
Oh,
no,
in
we
the
just
kitchen.
shut the doors and pulled the blinds.
Yeah.
So how old were you when then you're in the basement taking?
Oh yeah, I must have been maybe more like a teenager then.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Were the basements like real dark and?
Well, no, there was a light down there.
yeah, there was a lot,
Yeah.
but it was.
I'm thinking it's
Was
real
that a
dark
dirt
and
floor,
scary.
Dave?
At one time, it was all dirt floor.
Yeah.
But then we got a furnace.
Yes.
And you can't set a furnace on the dirt floor. So part of it was cemented for the furnace.
And I got married
And moved out of the
and
house.
moved out of the house, and I had a bathtub
And a bathroom.
and a bathroom.
Boy. Talk about luxuries.
Boy, that was great.
Wasn't it one time, Joe, when Dave was coming up from the basement or something?
Yeah.
That you were at the house or something, you were wondering where he was coming from? Because then he went into this bedroom.
Which was
Yeah.
the porch,
remember
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Boy.
My bedroom was an enclosed back porch.
How many bedrooms
From the
did you
basement.
have?
Let's
Two.
see, there were two bedrooms. Uh-huh.
7 people. there,
And
6
Jenny, Teresa, and Rita. Let's see, Jenny and Teresa might have had we had 2 rollaway beds.
Yeah,
And then we had a bigger
double
bed,
bed.
double
people.
bed. Yeah. So
I
then
had
that
I slept in a single, Teresa slept in a single, and the rest of you kids slept in
the
a
rest
double.
were in the bed.
Well,
I was in the middle. I
Yeah, you were
remember
in the middle.
between Rita and Fran.
And on the back,
And all night I heard all this arguing from the bedroom.
And Uncle Dave, then you got your own room.
Oh, I had it, but it had a rollaway bed in it because it was a closed-in back
And how
porch.
lucky you were.
How did you do that in the winter?
That's because he was the only boy.
Oh, it was cool. It was cold in
It was a
the
little chilly.
It was a little chilly back then. But I had extra covers.
But this was another angle. Do you remember when Aunt Mary stayed
Oh yeah.
with us?
Oh yeah.
And she stayed on the back porch. I don't know where you were then.
I think you were in the
Oh.
hospital.
Oh, that could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could have
Oh,
been.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you tell your story
Yeah, tell your story about
about being
that.
in the hospital? Because they would like to know that. That's
Yeah.
important information.
Okay. When I was about 2.5 years old, my mother said when she would put me down, I would yell, and if she sat me down, I would scream and holler. So she took me, I guess, to the doctor or a hospital, and found out I had tuberculosis of the spine.
Wow.
And back then, there was this
Barney Community
Barney Community Center.
Yeah.
What year was this?
This would
Well,
have
if you were
been
about
about 1941,
Okay.
about 40, 41. And it was for crippled people, disabled kids. This was all for kids. And people with illnesses and diseases like tuberculosis and stuff. And I was there for,
You were there
About
until you started
3 or 4
Yeah,
years.
3,
the
yeah.
first year.
Yeah. Because you were on this spine, remember? This-
Yeah. I was on what they called a gravity board.
Yeah.
And at one time I had a traction on my legs. I can
Legs,
remember
yeah.
traction. And the board went,
Yeah,
Yeah.
your back was up.
my back was up and my feet
Yeah.
and my head were down. The whole idea was to pull my spine straight, to keep
Yeah.
it straight. Yeah. And
He was ugly.
by the blessing of
Yeah.
the Lord,
Exactly.
I was cured of this tuberculosis of the spine. It's encapsulated. I still will not pass a tuberculosis test. And I asked my doctor one time about how did the tuberculosis get into my body, and he says, it came into your lung first and then lodged into your spine. And so then after I was in the first grade, when I became old enough to go to the first grade, there was a school called Gorman School, and it was for crippled people. Some of the kids that I went to school with were in wheelchairs. Some of them, their legs was
Yeah.
a lot shorter than the other leg, and some of them were on crutches. And I went to that school until I was in the third grade.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that was the year that we went to school together then?
Yeah, then I
Okay.
started at St. Anthony's, and I started in the third grade
Did you
over
walk all the way
again
up there?
Oh, yeah.
because
Oh, yeah.
Mom thought that Gorman wasn't up to
Oh.
speed. And she was right, because at Gorman School, all the students were in one room. Yeah.
Oh,
From-
no matter what grade you were in?
No matter what grade you were
Or
in.
how old you were?
Yeah, you
Oh,
were.
okay.
It was just one room and a teacher that was trying to teach the different grades.
Yep.
So, what was it like getting ready for school and going to school in the morning? Well,
I don't remember, for me, I don't remember anything like too crazy in the morning.
Huh.
In the wintertime, though, what I do remember about that was we would get up, and then we'd run to the bathroom, and then we would run and stand on the register in our bedroom.
And put our clothes on.
Put our clothes on. And then we brushed our teeth in the kitchen with salt, I think.
Soda.
Soda, that's what it was. Baking soda, that's what it
Baking
was.
Oh, but we
soda.
had also tooth powder, they called it. And
Oh.
you put some powder in your palm, remember?
Oh, yeah, I
And
remember
then
that.
you take
Powder and what?
Yeah.
in the palm of your hand, and then you take your toothbrush and dip it in.
I
in
thought
the-
that was the baking soda.
Baking soda.
Well, baking soda and tooth powder before toothpaste.
Oh yeah.
You get
I
it?
don't remember toothpaste.
Oh, I remember tooth powder.
Yeah, I don't remember the toothpaste.
I remember the baking soda.
So we would just get ready.
We all had something different.
And then, when, like he said, when he was in the third grade, then we went to school together. And then we would walk to school. But me, being a worrywart, if I ever heard the school bell ring before we were there, come on, we gotta start running. We gotta get up there on time. I remember that.
And Franny would walk up too with us.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And Teresa.
I don't remember walking with Teresa. I was the youngest. I did not walk to,
You know.
no, not to grade
No.
school.
Oh,
Not to grade
okay.
school.
Well, no, Teresa didn't walk with us.
No.
How long of a walk was
Or
it?
Jenny.
No.
Oh, it was at least a
It's a
mile.
pretty good walk.
It was at least,
Teresa and I
uphill,
went
right?
to school. Teresa and I, yeah.
yeah.
Hey, well,
And going there, it was all uphill. And then,
Coming
There was-
home, it was downhill.
where was the big Highland Avenue hill? We used to go up and walk across the
yeah,
Highland
field
commons,
there, and the commons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
That's all
gosh.
closed off now.
Yeah.
Well, it belongs to Vulcan Tool.
And Mom
now.
didn't want us going through that.
Oh, but
Yeah.
it was so fun, you know, and walk on the telephone poles.
Yeah.
Why did Grandma not want you to go that way?
Probably because it wasn't safe.
Safe.
Maybe, yeah. So, but we did, and we also walked home for lunch.
Oh, wow.
And we always talked about what we had for lunch. We either had oatmeal or gravy bread.
Usually oatmeal.
But I liked it. I didn't see any problem with
We
it.
lived on oatmeal.
It was good. And then we would walk back up to school again, and
Yeah.
then back home
It was quite a few miles that you put in every day.
every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
And they had mass every morning before school.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We had
Yeah.
mass every morning.
And most of the time, we went to mass in the morning,
Yeah.
didn't we?
We
We
did.
did.
Yes,
Yeah.
we did.
Yeah.
Every morning.
do you remember what time that was in the morning?
Probably 8 o'clock in the morning. Oh, I should probably add this little tidbit too.
Never a dull moment.
So when I, yeah, when I went to school, I wasn't very big.
Well, you're still not very big.
But I'm this big.
Wasn't very big, like she's big now.
So the nun was very concerned about me.
Yeah.
So she told my mother to let me stay home like an extra hour before I had to go to school. So then when I got to school, though, there was a problem. All the kids are in school and I can't get the door open.
Too heavy for her.
Did you walk by yourself then?
I
to
don't
school?
remember that part. I can't imagine that they let me walk by myself.
No.
No.
So but I remember trying to get the door open, and I couldn't get the door open. So I'm pounding on the door, and so I only remember that one time.
Yeah.
And so then the other thing was, I always had this little cardboard box under my feet because my feet didn't touch the floor. And they were concerned about that. That was really good though, because that helped my legs. So, but when we always were changing seats in school, right? I don't know if you guys did that when you grew up or not.
Classroom.
In the classroom.
Right.
In the classroom. So then I would have to take my cardboard box, pick it up. I didn't have a problem with it.
How about that?
Things were quite a bit different back then than they are now, right?
And we didn't have snow days.
Oh, I don't remember that, no.
No matter how much snow you got, you walked to school.
And you walked
yeah.
in the street because it was easier to walk in the street.
Yes.
Yeah.
You had boots,
Oh, definitely.
leggings.
Oh, yes.
coat, scarf,
Gloves.
hat, gloves, hats. No
We made
school
it.
buses. We didn't have any school buses.
We made it, didn't we, Betty?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't know any different. We had fun. We were happy.
Yeah, they don't do that nowadays.
I don't think it bothered any of us, did it?
And now you remember this part, though,
What?
when we used to play in the backyard,
Oh, yeah.
and we had these cedar trees. Might have been 3 in the backyard. Do you remember that,
Yeah, I
Dave?
remember the
Yeah.
trees.
And
yeah.
then we would go around them and we would sing, "You are my sunshine."
Shine, my only sunshine.
We had so much fun.
You make me happy.
I'm not going to try to sing because I can't do that. That's just a little extra.
We kind of noticed that. For free.
You know that song.
I know that song.
Well, sing it.
I can't.
Hey, we'll all sing it.
Oh, okay, you lead.
Okay,
What were
okay.
some of the other
Let's
songs?
sing.
Okay,
Okay.
here we go.
Here we go.
Okay. You are my
My
sunshine.
my only sunshine.
You make me happy when skies are gray.
I told you.
No, dear.
How much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away.
Now, wasn't that fun?
That was a lot of fun.
We had a lot of
We
fun.
sang all the time.
We did.
Yeah.
Yes, we did. And we walked everywhere.
And we walked every place.
All right, we gotta take a quick
Time
time
out.
out.
All right.
Was that neighbor, elderly lady, a neighbor up there on the corner of Highland and
Mrs.
Ames?
Wetzel.
Wetzel.
Mrs. Wetzel.
They used to take us places.
Oh, yeah. They used to take us rides.
Yeah.
From the driveway into
Into the garage. Actually,
was our ride!
all right.
Are you doing this, John? Are you?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Okay, this is the greatest. Because Mr. Wetzel would come and he'd see us kids and he'd say,
He was a contractor
Yeah.
who remodeled houses and built things that have to do with housing. Yeah.
and he'd say, "Hey kids, do you want to come and take a ride in the car?"
Yeah.
We'd say, "Yeah."
He was
So
down
we'd
the
run down, we'd all get in the back seat, and the car was in the driveway, and we would ride into the garage. And then it's like,
Get
"Okay,
out."
kids, that's it."
And then you're missing one other neighbor, Mrs. Rudy.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yes.
This is rude.
You did not want to let the ball, if you were playing with a ball,
Yeah.
you didn't want it to go over
In her
Mrs.
yard.
Rudy's yard.
Oh, never,
Yeah,
never.
yeah. She would keep the ball.
Yeah.
But a lot
But
of
guess
times
how
she-
we got it sometimes, if she wasn't looking.
Oh, yeah.
We would get our mother's clothes pole, and we would like, right? If it was close enough, we took the ball. We would never go in her yard.
No.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
no.
Because her yard was
Perfect.
immaculate,
Yeah.
perfect. They were gardeners, and everything was like so nice. It was very nice, yeah. But she was a nice lady.
She was
They
nice
had
lady.
relatives in North Star, Ohio, and
What was her adopted brother? This is Rudy's adopted brother.
oh, it was her adopted
Yeah,
brother.
Carl Bauer.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
And he would have us come up to their farm for 2 weeks in the summertime. And oh, we loved going up to the farm. That was the greatest thing to do.
Yes.
Remember, Dave?
And
Yeah.
I didn't know you weren't supposed to chase the chickens around in the chicken in the chicken coop. And it was great fun, you know. They would pile up in the corner, and but I was
You found out.
told don't chase the chickens around in the chicken coop because
Yeah.
it damages them.
Did they have a bathtub up there?
I don't remember that, but we
They-
went to the outhouse.
They had an outhouse.
And so no matter what time of the day or night that you had to go to the bathroom, you went out to the outhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely remember that. That I was not too fond of.
And they had a well. If you wanted to drink, they had an old tin cup. Everybody drank out of the tin cup. Yeah. It was a little rusted, so
Yeah, that would work.
rinse it out a little bit, get yourself a drink. And, this,
Never a dull moment.
and they had a way of hooking this well up.
Oh, poor
It
mom.
had a motor on it too, and they would have these chutes that would shoot the water into a trough that watered the cows. Kind of like this trough we took a bath in.
Oh, shoot. But anyway, tell them about in our kitchen. Did we already mention that about the
My what?
the pump in the kitchen? I don't
Oh.
think we did sitting
Oh,
here.
the pump?
Oh, the
Yeah.
pump.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
we
tell
had a hand pump that went
Yeah.
to a cistern. And the water would drain off of the roof and into this cistern, and the cistern was a hole in the ground
This is at our house.
at our house on
Yeah.
318 Highland Avenue.
Very
And this cistern was about this big around and probably at least 6 feet deep.
good. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it had an iron lid on it. And the hand pump had a pipe that went down into the cistern, and you had to prime the
Is
pump.
that camera still on?
Meaning you
Yes.
got some water, and you poured it in the pump on top while you
Pumped it.
were pumping the handle, and you would pump out some water and wash your hair in it. And it was soft
Yeah.
water. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we didn't
thought
take a
that
bath.
was-
We didn't take a
that
bath
was
in
great.
this, did we? Did we take a bath in this system? I
no.
don't think so.
No.
No.
Because
we,
then
we had city water.
yeah, because we eventually got indoor plumbing and water.
We had indoor plumbing
I mean, the
all,
water.
all the time.
Yeah, yes.
Because you,
but we
you
didn't
want
have
to
a
drink.
sink.
You didn't drink this cistern
No,
water.
but we did not have that sink
Yeah.
for a long time. The sink.
In the kitchen?
Next by
Oh,
Mrs.
there
Rudy's
was-
house.
That was turn.
No, the sink was in some a different location.
Yeah.
Yes, it was
Yeah.
close to the back door.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we always had a sink.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then we had
But then it was transferred
we were
over by the
remodeled,
bathroom.
didn't
Yeah, the kitchen was remodeled.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we were getting up in the world, let me tell you.
Okay.
It was over by the bathroom, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's where the plumbing was. It was just closer to run the pipe there.
Okay.
So you talked about lunch. You talked about going home from school every day for lunch and
Right.
eating oatmeal and gravy bread.
Gravy bread.
What else did you guys eat normally
Oh, we had
for
nice
breakfast
meals.
and dinner?
Breakfast, we had two pieces,
Two pieces of
toast.
toast. Two pieces.
I still have 2 pieces of toast.
And we drank coffee.
Oh,
We had 1 cup of coffee
at
One
what
cup of
age?
coffee.
when we were little.
Yeah.
That's what we had, 2 pieces of cooked toast and a cup of coffee. Every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now on
So then you
Sunday,
came home for lunch and had your oatmeal and gravy bread.
Right.
Who
Oh,
did,
yeah.
Who did dinners? Like, so dinners you have to make for everyone. Is that a
So
big meal?
My mother always cooked a very, very nice meal for us
on, Su-
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
Sunday,
on
we
Sunday.
had chicken.
We had 1 chicken.
That was a treat.
And these guys, the older guys, they got the good meat.
Yeah.
They
Got the leg.
You got a leg. Teresa got a leg. Okay.
I got a wing.
I got a wing. And
What about Mom? What she
Mother
wing.
had the white meat.
White meat.
Mom had the white meat.
Yeah.
So then Fran and Rita must have got the thighs because there's not a
Yeah.
whole lot left on that chicken.
One chicken.
So what'd you get?
Me, I got a wing too. He got a wing and I did.
And I got a leg.
Yeah.
I know because they were the
The
working-
bottom part.
and these girls were going out to work at this point in time.
Oh, okay.
So they got the better
Yeah.
part.
Very good.
And to get that chicken, we would walk down to Richard Street and get on a bus.
Exactly.
And we would take the bus
Oh, I
downtown.
walk. I never took no bus.
Oh,
you-
we did.
Oh, downtown.
Oh, you're going downtown. I
Yeah,
thought
where
you
the
were-
marketplace.
Oh, yeah.
On
Okay, I'm
Jefferson's.
sorry.
On
Yeah.
And in the arcade,
Yes.
yeah, there was a Mr. Behringer.
Yes. I
And
remember that name.
he sold the chickens.
Okay.
Yeah. And we would
But this
get
was, you
one-
forgot to add, it was on a Saturday morning early.
Yeah.
5.
And Mother would call us. And we'd be like, oh. But we got up. And then, as he was saying, we'd get on the bus, go downtown.
And it
Yeah.
was a nickel to get on the bus.
I don't remember that
Oh,
part.
I
but
remember the
That
nickel.
sounds
Yeah.
about right.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So the whole family would go to the market.
Not all the time. No, I don't remember that part. Do you?
What?
No,
What?
no.
Everybody going. These 2 girls, the oldest girls, Teresa and Aunt Jenny, used to work down there at the market. How much did you make? Do you remember?
It was for Mantia, guy by the
I
name of
don't-
Mantia.
okay.
He sold
It wasn't very
produce.
much.
Probably 50 cents.
Yeah, we got $5, I think, working all morning.
Do you remember the Mantias?
I remember that name.
Yeah, they sold produce.
Who?
Tony Mantia.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah. And in fact, I think Teresa used to babysit their kids.
yeah, I work for Anarino.
Oh, Anna Reno.
Anarino.
Okay.
They have a restaurant. I think they had a restaurant.
They did.
Anarino's.
And then we would get back on the bus, carry all of our stuff home, and then we had an ice box with a little freezer about this big. When you say, Dave, right in the
Yeah,
middle
well,
of
it
that?
was a refrigerator.
What did I say?
Yeah, ice
You
box.
said icebox.
Yeah, there was
Oh, an
ice
ice box,
boxes
yeah.
before that, but
Oh,
we
you
never
skipped
had
that.
an ice box. I don't remember ever having an ice box.
Okay.
We had a Frigidaire
No,
refrigerator.
A refrigerator.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you say, the freezer compartment was just a little,
Yeah.
a little area
Some water.
where you could make some ice cubes.
There's some right there.
So you talked about the jobs the older girls had. Did you guys have chores, or did you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
get jobs then growing up too?
Oh, doing the dishes. I remember doing the dishes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, everybody had to do the
Everybody.
dishes. One person would scrape the dishes off, and another person would wash the dishes, and rinse somebody would rinse, and then you had to dry the dishes. Now, I remember cutting the grass with a push mower,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and it didn't have any power at all. And sometimes there was more than one of us would get on this push mower to get through the tall grass to push this lawnmower.
And I did the weeding.
Oh, lucky you.
Oh yeah, we had a garden.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Garden. What I was going to say. Well, go ahead. You say it.
And I had flowers.
I think we all had a little flower.
We all had a little bed.
Little space that we had to keep the weeds out, and keep it nice,
Yeah.
and we did that.
You didn't have your own vegetable garden or anything like that?
I wouldn't call it our own,
Oh.
but we raised tomatoes and
Yeah.
we had a big patch of strawberries, big,
Yeah.
huge patch of strawberries. And spring onions and radishes. Do we do cabbage? I don't remember that
Cabbage.
part.
Yeah, it was
Cabbage.
cabbage.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a big garden that we had to
And
take
some
care of.
carrots.
And we had to weed. Keep the weeds
Oh,
out.
that's how
it.
Mom kept us busy and out of trouble.
Exactly.
You gotta pull weeds. Oh yeah, pulling weeds.
Pulling weeds.
Yeah.
Did you guys have any pets growing up?
And we had some dogs. Remember Bootsy?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Bootsy.
Bootsy.
Little
There's a
Bootsy.
picture
Was I
of
gone
Betty and
then?
Bootsy.
Bootsy.
No, you
Yeah.
should have been around.
Yeah, I think.
No, you were still around.
And I remember.
Because that one picture of me is a picture of me and the dog Bootsy.
Yeah.
Bootsy.
And didn't Bootsy get sick one time and we put camphor oil, camphor on the Bootsy's chest?
Oh my.
Is that the one though? Was running all over the house. He got real sick. Was crazy. Our mother said, "Stay away from that dog." And then she had to call the dog catcher.
Yeah.
Is that Bootsy?
Yeah.
Was that Bootsy?
I don't know. Could have been.
I don't,
Yeah.
Was that poor Bootsy that got sick?
Poor Bootsy. Yeah.
You guys got sick. What were the home remedies that you used?
The Vic Sav.
Vic Sav?
Get out the Vic Sav.
Vic Sav was big.
I think that
And the
cured
handkerchief.
everything.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cover that up. Yeah.
But that was it? I mean, there was
Well,
no
and some
kind
aspirin.
A little bit of
Aspirin.
aspirin.
Yeah, a couple
That's about
aspirins.
it.
Wow. Do you guys remember ever being like
I remember having a very bad earache where it was just throbbing. You know how an earache is.
Yes.
And, it feels like it's getting bigger and bigger, and then you wake up,
Yeah.
So I don't remember. I just remember laying on the couch, and I think I eventually got better.
Wow.
But I don't remember going to the doctor or anything like that.
Did you ever go to the doctors like any?
I
Oh,
don't.
yeah, there was
Do
a
we?
doctor down on Xenia Avenue we would go to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget what his
I don't
name
remember.
was.
And there was
And
a
there was a
dentist.
dentist, yeah.
Yeah, I remember you
I worked for him.
working for a dentist.
Yeah.
And I remember you bringing back some mercury
Yeah.
that you had pilfered from the dentist's
Yeah.
office.
Should we stop the video right now?
Anybody in jail?
And they used to put this mercury in cavities.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah. And I remember Jenny bringing home this mercury. What was the name of that
I
dentist?
forget what it was.
Harlan. Was his first name
That
Harlan?
sounds familiar.
Or was it
What was it?
Dr. Harlan?
I remember that.
Dr.
Sounds
Harlan.
Dr.
familiar.
Yeah.
Harlan. And
Dr. Harlan.
and this mercury was just great to play with.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We all
And we
wanted
would
to play
coat
with it.
coins with
Yeah,
the dimes, and they would
dimes,
be all
make them
shiny for a while.
We used
Yeah,
to.
we used to do that.
And
Is it?
I understand this mercury now.
It's bad.
It's bad for you. It does nerve damage.
Maybe that's what happened to us.
It damages your brain. I think that's what happened to us. Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Oh, and we'd take it to school, and it would fall on the floor, and these little pieces would go
Yeah.
all over the place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we used to
Oh.
put it.
So funny.
Yeah.
We used to always go down to the store. Was it around Easter and get the two little peeps?
Oh yeah, down on Xenia Avenue.
Xenia
Oh, yeah.
Avenue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had and we had this little chicken.
Chickens.
Well, I had this little chicken box, you know.
Yeah.
And I know one time I was cleaning the floor, and I needed a knife, so I went into the kitchen and got a knife, and I was scraping this
Oh, no.
chicken dew off the floor. I brought it back in. Of course, it was washed and all that. And one of I forget who it was. I think it was Rita, was dating somebody, and this guy was over at the house,
Yeah.
and she was using this knife, and I said, "Oh, that's the knife I used to scrape the bottom of the chicken." She says,
broke
"Oh,
up
no,
with
it's
that
not.
guy."
No, it's not."
So, what were the holidays like? Like Christmas and Easter? What did you guys do?
Christmas, oh, that was good.
It was good.
We would
Yeah.
always go down to Xenia Avenue and buy
Yeah,
presents.
we get all our
Yeah.
presents down Xenia Avenue.
10 cents.
Retail
Yeah.
stores
Nickel.
down at.
Did everyone buy for everyone else, or did you do gift exchanges? What-
No gift exchanges. That was not
No.
in the picture.
No.
Yeah.
Just
So
little-
who are you buying for? Like,
I don't know. I bought for my brother, my mother, and my
so you did
mother.
buy for
But
everyone.
I don't remember
Oh,
buying
no.
for you.
What?
Yeah, we had a couple bucks.
I don't remember buying a present for you.
I don't remember buying any presents for.
But we did. I remember.
Oh
we went
yeah,
down
we would
there.
go down on
buy-
Xenia Avenue.
Yeah,
All us kids would go down there.
Yeah.
yeah, that was fun. And we
How did,
wrap them.
how did Grandma
Look
handle
around.
that when you guys were little? Do you remember anything around Christmas, you know, when you're little like that?
Yeah, I
Like
don't
nowadays?
remember a whole lot. Just having the Christmas tree,
Yeah.
and then if you got a tree and it wasn't looking too good, they would take a branch off the bottom and drill a hole and stick it in the middle. Do you remember doing that? and we would decorate the tree.
Yeah, we always had a tree.
Oh yeah,
Always.
yeah.
What would you decorate it with?
Just like you guys do now. Just
Yeah,
like we do now. Tinsel.
Lights.
Tinsel was a big thing. You always had
Yeah.
tinsel on your tree.
Yeah. yeah.
And your bulbs and your lights, you
And
know,
bulbs and lights.
on the
And
top
I
of the tree.
remember these lights. They weren't. If one light burned out, all the lights.
Oh, yeah.
In that strand would go
Oh
out.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was always an issue.
Yeah,
Always
yeah,
an
yeah.
issue.
We always
playing around with
always
that.
playing with the lights.
And
So
then-
where would you get your tree? Would you all go somewhere and pick out a tree and cut it down?
I don't know where it just
I know
appeared.
where we get our tree.
Where?
Okay, this guy Mantilla,
Okay.
he
yeah.
sold Christmas trees too,
Okay.
and he would put a tree on the back porch.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For you guys.
Yeah, yeah. It was ones he couldn't sell.
So, so you know what it looked like.
yeah. They weren't always the nicest looking tree.
That's why we had to doctor him up a little bit.
Yeah, we had Dr.
but mother
Oh, yeah.
always made nut bread.
Oh yeah.
And she made the best nut bread, and it was made with yeast, of course. And then on the register, she would put the bread dough in a pan, you know, and then stick it close to the register so it would rise, you know. And it was always very, very good,
Yeah.
very delicious.
Made out of English walnuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and she would grind up
Yeah.
the English walnuts and put some kind of milk or something in there. Some kind.
Yeah, she
It
did
was a
make
very
it
good
good. It
mixture.
was-
Yeah, it was good.
And I think
Maybe a little honey.
she might have learned that from Mrs. Rudy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What was
Yeah.
that Mrs. Rudy made? Kraut Kanukalan?
Kraut Kanukalan.
Kraut Kanukalan. Yeah, it was made with noodles and cabbage.
Oh,
And
Homemade noodles.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Oh, nothing but homemade.
Yeah, homemade noodles.
Mother always,
Mom always
made
made homemade
homemade noodles.
what was your favorite dish that Grandma made?
Let's see. I don't know. Probably pig's feet.
Oh, I remember
Oh,
the pigs.
yeah, those were
And
good.
pig knuckles.
Oh,
That's your favorite dish?
Oh, pickle.
oh, we liked it
Pickled
pig's
pig's
because
feet.
it was so
They
good.
were so.
Oh my
Oh,
God. And you would have it with rye bread, Dave.
Oh, that was good.
And there's
So the next time you see a pig,
look at his feet. And she would get these down at the arcade.
Yeah.
Well, they throw them away or what?
Oh,
Yeah.
well, they look like a foot, didn't they? Did?
Oh, they did. Yeah. Oh, and you could,
Gnawed on it?
you would pull the toes apart because there was these joints on the your toes got joints. Oh, and then you would kind of like
Spit out the.
yeah. And she would put it on the back porch when it was
yeah.
cold.
Oh, it was cold back then.
Yeah, and it was they were in a crock. Yeah, you cook the pig's
Yeah.
feet and pig's knuckles, and
Yeah.
then she had a mixture of vinegar.
Oh, yeah.
And something else, maybe some spices or something. And you put them in a crock,
Yeah.
and then you put them out where it's cold.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you could eat these pig's feet for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And the same way with the sauerkraut.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because I remember just going out there and getting some sauerkraut. That is so delicious. I
Oh, yeah.
loved it.
Yeah, that was made in a crock also.
Yeah, that was in a crock.
It
Crock.
was,
Yeah.
yeah.
Shredded cabbage, and then a layer of salt.
But those pig's
More
feet, they
shredded
were great.
cabbage
Oh,
and a layer of salt, and then a board on top. I think Mr. Rudy might have made a board or gave it.
You know,
And
sweet
then on
talk.
top
That's
of
all right.
the
Yeah, we're good.
on top
What
of the
time we have to
board
go to
was a
church?
big
We'll get
rock.
there in time.
What time?
Top of this board was a rock, and
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and as it cured, the juice would come to the top because the rock would squeeze it out, and then you dip off the juice, and then you eat the sauerkraut when it got done.
Yeah.
Okay, what?
So, growing up, when you got older,
Yeah.
what did you guys do for fun?
Oh,
Well,
Oh, I know.
jump
Do you
rope.
remember going down to McKinley School
Oh, yeah.
and playing softball?
Sure.
Oh, and remember
Oh,
that
I know what
lot
you're gonna
next
say.
to Marilyn Gross?
yes.
And Mr. Gross had us clean off that lot, and we played softball.
Oh, we had so much fun.
Softball.
All the kids in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we used to go down there and play.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember the time the ball hit me right here and I passed out?
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Somebody either was throwing the ball or they pitched the ball and it hit me right here and I went, boing.
We jumped
did.
rope. The older ones.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What we did for fun.
Jump
yeah.
rope.
Jump
roped a
rope.
lot.
Hopscotch.
Hopscotch. Oh, yeah, I remember hopscotch.
And we played tag a lot.
Tag.
Oh, hide and seek.
Hide and
Hide and
seek.
seek.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, all those fun games.
You remember any of those things?
A couple of those.
And then what we did also, we had a very nice front porch. It
Yeah.
was very smooth. And we would play jacks.
Jacks. Yeah, remember
She
that?
was a whiz at it. 'Cause
And,
she
and
could-
remember Mrs. Wagner across the street?
Yeah.
Yep.
She
Betty.
was the best jacks player
Yeah.
in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And we went over and played jacks with her.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And we sat on our porch and it was
Yeah.
just perfect, that
Yeah.
we did that a lot. That was
Yeah.
a big thing.
So now you're getting older and everyone's starting to date. What is
Oh.
that like?
Oh, that was fun.
Like
What?
what
I
age
remember when Gail came over.
Oh,
What?
yeah.
When you were dating Gail.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Jane wanted to know what was that like.
Oh, that was great.
That was fun.
At night, when we come home, they'd all be at the front window. watching. Oh, remember that? They all have. Oh, we did.
We got a close
Well, I'm sure you guys are all relatively close in age too.
Very close.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there's more than just you dating at the time, right?
That's
And
what was
Jenny?
nice about it,
Yeah,
Jane, because
yeah.
we were all about the same age.
Right.
We just all had a lot of fun together.
You guys all just hung out together
Yeah.
and, you know.
We were the little ones.
Yeah,
Because when-
these two.
When
Yeah, we didn't date till later.
when Aunt Jenny, Aunt Teresa, and Aunt Rita got married,
Yeah.
they
All the same year.
got married in the same year.
Yeah.
Aunt Teresa got married February the 7th,
I was May.
May the 2nd, and then Rita got married August the
August.
29th.
Wow.
How
So-
old were you?
All the same year. How old was I?
Yeah.
Let's see. Gail was in service. I was 23, I think, wasn't I?
Or 25, one.
25, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
But I dated Gail a long time
Right.
Yeah.
because he was in service for 3 years.
Yeah,
Over
you knew
in
him.
Korea.
You knew him before, and then he was in the service.
Korea, mhm.
And then when he got out, then you guys got
We
married.
got married. Because his mother said, "You're not getting married before you go while you're in the service."
All right. Okay.
So we had to listen to her. So we didn't get married.
So then Aunt
and us
Teresa.
younger Oh, well, you had to say something about it.
Well, then Aunt Teresa was just a couple years younger than Aunt Jenny. But Aunt Rita, I think, was about, what do I want to say, maybe?
20.
20, okay, yeah. She was 20.
20.
So that made a big difference in the household,
Yeah.
you
Oh,
know?
I bet.
Yeah,
Three of them gone.
yeah.
And then Betty and I joined this Catholic Young People's
Oh,
Club.
yes, mhm.
And that's where you met Joe.
That's where I met my
And
husband.
that's where I met Margaret,
Oh.
my wife.
Mhm.
And did Franny meet Jim Cecil there?
I don't know.
I thought she did. How did
I
she
wish I
meet?
could remember
How
that.
did I meet Gail?
Oh, I think I know. I thought.
We went to a party, didn't we?
Well, here's what I think. Somebody else was dating Gail.
Oh, that's why that my friend. My friend.
Yeah.
She never did forgive me for that.
Who was that friend that was?
Pat Weiner.
Pat White.
Pat Weiner.
Yeah.
She had a date with Gail. And somehow or other, I had a blind date with Gail.
Yeah, well,
And that's how we met.
anyway, the rest is history.
And Pat was very upset with me because she was going with Gail.
And she wanted to marry him.
And she wanted to marry him. Yeah, she did. So I took over.
Oh, yeah.
And then Betty, Joe was going to school at NCR. Yeah. How did you find out about the club? A Catholic Young People's
Yeah,
Club.
church. There was a couple.
Yeah, because he was living here. He lived up on Hodap Avenue. Oh, wait a minute. What town am I in? Oh, that was in Dayton. Sorry about that. That was when you were in Dayton.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know that.
Mm-hmm. I know, that was on
'Cause I
Hodap.
was going up to St. Anthony's, and there was a couple of guys. You knew the one guy. I can't remember his name now.
Yeah, Denny Schlegel.
Yeah, that's who it was. And he was talking about this club thing, and he said, "Why don't you go have meetings?" And so I went.
Mm-hmm.
And then
When-
you were on the bowling team.
Oh, yes. We were on the bowling team.
Nice.
We had so much fun, and my brother, I don't know if you were on the bowling team too.
I would bowl with the club.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh, don't you remember when we used to go out to, what was the one fast food place? What was it called? Do you remember?
Frisch's, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't Frisch's. But
Wasn't
we'll
it?
just say Frisch's. And we used to have so much fun.
It wasn't McDonald, was it?
No, it was. You go in and sit down, and there was a whole bunch of. What the heck was that main drag there? Was it Smithville? Who was on?
Yeah, darn it, I wish I could remember. But I can't remember. the
So
name
how
of
did
the
you
place.
guys have money for that?
Oh, well, we were working.
Oh, yeah. I used
You
to.
mean by the time we were dating?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we all had
we
jobs.
We all had jobs.
We all had jobs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We all had to work.
Uh-huh. I worked at John Hancock Insurance Company in Dayton. Until
I worked at Flom's Publishing Company for how many years? Long time.
Well, I don't-
Long time.
Yeah, a long time.
Yeah.
Did you work after you got married?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, I worked at Baird's before. You remember Baird's, that little store at
Yeah.
Highland and Xenia?
Yeah, I remember that.
Mhm.
Was it Xenia? Yeah.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
Xenia
it was
Avenue.
Xenia. It was Xenia. And I worked after school and on the weekends, and I got $5. And
For the week?
for the week.
Wow.
Yeah. And then, when I was going to Chaminade, I walked down to Liberal. There was a Liberal downtown, and I went into the store and I asked the manager for a job. And I didn't know it at the time, but he had contacted Chaminade High School principal or the dean, and said he needed some part-time
Oh,
help.
there
And
you
I
go.
didn't even, wasn't aware of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you were.
And he thought I was one of those.
And they hired you.
Yeah, and they hired me. And I started out at 50 cents an hour. Then and I was sacking groceries. Back, they had a cashier. And
Well, I
they
did
had,
that in Market House.
Yeah, and they had regular lines like they do now at the supermarket where you put your food on there and it
Yeah.
would move up. And then the union came in, and I got 75 cents an hour.
Oh, you were lucky.
Yeah, yeah. And so then I graduated from high school. Well, no, a year before I graduated, 1956, I got a job. There was an opening in the meat department, and I
Yeah.
got a job in the meat department,
I remember that.
slicing
Yeah, we
lunch
know.
meat,
We had good meat.
packaging lunch meat, yes, and putting chickens in plastic bags and stapling the top of them, just different things like that. That was part-time.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I went full-time in the meat department, and I worked there till, well, it was about 1967.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I went to work for the city. Oh, I know what. I was taking a course in drafting. Somebody came when I in the meat shop that I was working with, and he says, my brother is making all kinds of overtime. He's a draftsman. And he says, they're having a night school at Patterson Co-op, and would you like to go? I says, yeah. So I went to school and learned a little bit about drafting, and I applied. They had an opening at the city of Dayton because the guy that had the course at Patterson Co-op, he had a connection with the personnel department at the city of Dayton. If they needed a draftsman, they would ask him to send somebody there at the city to be a draftsman there, be hired. And so I went there and I was hired. And then from there I became a housing inspector, and I retired from a housing inspector. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Mom, where did you say that you worked?
I worked at a place called Shrepco, and they sold, it was electrical parts. Do you remember that outfit? And I would work after school. I believe I made $1 an hour,
Ooh.
and I had to work on Saturday mornings from
What
like
did you do there?
filing and just general office work, you know.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it. I didn't like getting up on Saturday morning, but I said, okay, I guess I better. So, yeah, so I worked there till after let's see, how would it be? Till I graduated from high school.
I'm gonna get a drink.
And then
I'll be right back.
when I graduated in 1957, then I put my application in at John Hancock Insurance Company, and so I got a job there. And I took care of the window. People would come and pay their premiums there, and then when the men would come in on Tuesdays and Thursdays, the insurance agents, they would bring their money in, and there was myself and another girl, and we would have to count their money, collect all their money, and then balance it all out, and then walk down the street a little bit to where the bank was. And I just went by myself.
Wow.
There was nobody else, you know.
Like
which
how
was
much
really-
money are you handling?
that part I don't remember,
Yeah.
you know, but then, I would deposit the money there, and so I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Then when I got married in September 19th.
You stayed home, had kids.
I did that too. But before
That was your job.
Before I had Joe, and when I was expecting Joe, I transferred up here in Columbus to the John Hancock
That's right.
Insurance Company.
Okay.
So I worked there for about, maybe 8 months
Yeah.
or so, and then I think that was as long as I could work. Then they
Yeah.
said you have to quit.
Right.
So that was fine. That was perfect.
Yeah.
So then we had a bunch of kids.
Yeah. Well, I worked for UD for a while.
Yes.
Remember, I
Mhm.
worked-
Yeah.
and then I went to Farms Publishing Company, I think.
Right. You worked there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I worked there till I got married. And after I got married, till I had my
So
babies.
you had Greg.
I had Greg.
Yeah.
So what did you do there?
What I do there?
Yep.
Office work,
Okay.
and I run a billing machine. Yeah, billing machine.
Nice.
But mostly typing and the billing machine and just general office work, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Whatever they need you to do.
So now you guys are all having children.
Now we all got our kids and grandkids and
Yeah,
great-grandkids.
right, you do.
Yeah.
But you know,
And that's
we
great.
always remember going up to grandma or going down to grandma's
Oh,
for Easter
yeah.
and for
Thanksgiving, back and
Thanksgiving,
forth.
Oh, yes.
Thanksgiving at the G's.
That's
We would
right.
always love going
Thanksgiving at your house.
Oh,
one
yeah.
year and
Yeah.
yeah. So how did that all start? Like with you guys getting together?
Oh, that
all the
was
time?
on Chelsea Avenue, wasn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when we had the big house.
Oh yeah.
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 Let me see. I'm trying to think.
Mom, you should
What-
tell
oh,
the
I
story
know.
too about when Dad's in school during the summer, and you decided to pack all of us kids up into the car and head to Aunt Ginny's house one day.
That was a good story. What car was that? That white car that I took?
Yeah.
And I don't know what car it was, but I don't think it was the greatest. I don't know if you remember, John, but I said, okay, come on, kids. We're going down to Aunt Ginny's house because,
Dad was away at school, or
Would
Dad
you
was
do
away
that
yeah,
one
no,
somewhere?
I must have been in school or something. It might have been during the summer in the middle of the week or something.
Yeah.
Something like that. So I decided I didn't want to take any chances. So I put a little bit more gas in the car.
Oh, boy.
That was number one. And then I said, okay, all the way down, we prayed the
We
rosary.
prayed the rosary all the way down.
And we were protected. Thank you, Blessed Mother, for taking care of us. But when I got down to your house and I pulled up in the driveway, there was some gasoline that came out of the tank.
They couldn't get the car off either. Remember?
Oh, is that what the problem was?
Yeah, the car wouldn't even go off. It kept running, and
can
the
you
gasoline
even imagine?
What happened then?
was.
I don't know. We cleaned up the gasoline that was spilled off the driveway. But we got back home again. Thank you, Lord.
That was down Route 40 too.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Route
Fun
40.
We did.
Yeah,
No money, but a lot of fun.
yeah.
So, who was Grandma's favorite?
Oh, that's a
Who
good
was what?
question.
Grandma's favorite?
Oh.
I don't know if she
I
had
don't
a
think
She
she
favorite.
didn't?
had any
Well,
favorites.
yeah, a spoiled brat, wasn't it?
Oh, maybe it was me.
Yeah, I think we all said that later on, Joe. The baby of the family.
Yeah. You don't have to do anything. We have to do all the work.
Get down and scrub those floors.
Hey, remember when we used to clean the church?
I was going to mention
Oh,
that too.
yeah. You and Mom would go up. Yeah.
Dave
Oh,
and
Dave.
and Fran.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
did Franny go too?
I don't know about, was Rita in on the scene then?
I don't think
I
so.
don't think so.
Okay, so the church that we went to, St. Anthony's Church in
St.
Dayton,
Anthony's.
in Dayton, Ohio. Mother had a job, your grandma, and we cleaned the church on Saturday.
Yeah, this was the old church.
The old church.
The old church.
It was built as a gym in the school, and it's used as a kind of like a
Kind of like a
it had-
gym now or something?
Well, it had a balcony. It's got a balcony.
Yeah.
It had a balcony.
It's
Yeah.
like St. Mary
Because
Magdalene.
that's where the choir was, huh?
Yeah.
It's like St. Mary Magdalene was.
Yes.
Like them
Yeah, that was part of the school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so the flooring was, now I can't think of what it's called. What was
It's
the
like
floor?
a
Tile.
black
No, it was
oil.
oil. It was a, yeah,
Like linoleum, but not linoleum. It was thicker
Oh.
than that.
yeah. But anyway, the way you cleaned it, you had these big oil mops. And so we'd all get a mop and we'd be cleaning the aisle, you know. And then we used to clean the seats of the bench, but we clowned around a lot too. And we'd get our rag, zzz, zzz, remember that, Dave? And then the back of the
Yeah.
pew, you
Yeah.
take your cloth, and that's how we dusted the cloth. Mother must have done the altar.
What'd Mom do?
She must have done the
altar.
altar, because I don't remember getting close to the
Yeah.
altar.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't think of what kind of flooring that was,
I don't know.
but you had to use these big mops, and
They were oil. They had oil on.
they had oil in them, and
Yeah.
it made it look really, really nice when you first did it, you know?
Yeah.
It's like when it rains outside and everything looks all nice. Yeah, so we did that on Saturday morning.
and we got $5.
I don't remember. the
I
money
remember
part.
$5.
See, the money, it still never registered.
I
in
know,
my
Mom
head.
never did.
And it wasn't always in paper.
Mother
Sometimes
never
it
made
was
very
in
much.
coins,
Oh,
in an
jeepers.
envelope. I remember
Oh
that.
my gosh, I don't remember anything about the money.
Oh.
Maybe you didn't get
I
any.
probably
She probably didn't get it.
I don't remember anything. We just had a good time cleaning the church.
Yeah.
I babysat.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember.
yeah.
I remember Father Kingley,
Oh, I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
Father Kingley
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
and I can remember going to confession.
Oh.
Remember, I don't know when they had confessions, but remember they would you'd line up along
Yeah.
the wall there, and there was
Yeah.
one on each side, I think.
Yeah.
And Father Kingley, you'd go in there, and he'd be he'd be sleeping. he would nod off, and you had to wake him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he pretty old?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was an old priest.
yeah, he was very, very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And he would come to our classrooms
Mm-hmm.
and tell us stories about how he would walk.
Remember Father
different places.
Beckmeyer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Father
Yeah.
Beckmeyer.
Mm-hmm. But Father
always
Kingley
do
would
that.
tell us stories how he would walk down these creeks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And creek beds and stuff like that. He'd go
Uh-huh.
on walks.
Yeah.
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 So, what were your favorite memories of Grandma growing up?
Of Grandma?
Yeah,
My mommy.
yeah,
Oh.
your mommy.
Oh,
So many I couldn't remember.
let's
So
see.
many.
Hmm.
She would walk up to church with us.
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Always
Yes.
had good meals. Mother
Yes.
always had good meals. And she
Uh-huh.
was she loved to iron clothes. She was a great ironer. Great
She
ironer.
was. Yes.
Who was hanging the clothes on the line?
Oh yes, we used to hang all of our clothes outside.
Yeah.
Monday was laundry day.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that meant you did it down in the basement. And we had a washing machine, a wringer, where you stuck the clothes through.
And I got my hand caught in it.
Oh, and this lady got her arm caught in the wringer. But look, she's
This
okay.
finger.
Mm-hmm.
I still got a scar there.
And you heated the water on that gas hot plate down there.
Once again, we had
Yeah.
to heat all the water up. Can you
Yeah.
imagine? Everything.
We had that big tub.
Yeah.
That was the tub we
Was
took a
that
bath
the
in.
one?
That was
the one.
yeah. It was
Yeah.
a big, and you got the water in a bucket at the
Yeah.
sink,
Right.
poured it into that big bathtub
Down, down.
on the gas hot plate,
Mm-hmm.
and she would heat it up there and then dip it out with a bucket into the wash machine for the hot water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always wanted to roll the washer down to the tubs.
To fill it up.
Then we didn't have to carry it so far.
Yeah.
But I remember
But they
when
did
we
let
got
me.
a water heater.
When we got the water.
We
heater?
got a water heater.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
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 But we didn't always have a water heater.
No, we never had hot water. We had cold
You had to
water.
heat it up on the
Exactly.
stove.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Winters sound very cold in that house.
Oh yeah. We used to hug the registers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And in that front room, whoa, that room was cold. Those rooms were cold. 'Cause we had a coal stove furnace.
Yeah. It was.
How'd you keep
well,
the
was it
pipes
called?
from
Before
freezing?
that was.
Oh,
it-
we had,
had a coal stove.
in our living room.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot about that. A big thing.
And can you remember putting pillows on the stove to heat them
Yeah.
up?
Heat 'em up and then
Yeah,
run,
and then run
back.
into the bedroom.
So before they got cold.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yes, I do remember that now. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then we got the furnace
Then we got the
downstairs.
furnace.
Oh, that was a big deal when we got a furnace. Woo, what?
Yeah.
We had heat.
Yeah. And a lot of
Don't you
times
remember we got that furnace? Oh, I thought that was great.
a lot of times I would have to fire up the furnace.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, I fired it up once in a while.
Yeah.
Yep.
But we had a poker. You had a poker.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You would put, well, that was for the ashes. You had a handle next to the,
Oh, yeah.
and you shook the ashes down with this handle.
Made sure those ashes
Yeah,
got
it had a grate.
Then
It had a grate. And
you had to take all the ashes out.
yeah, And I would take the
Okay,
ashes
cool.
out.
Not always.
No. Oh, you took the ashes out?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that was, well, okay. Well,
That was before you were grown.
but anyway, this poker had a hook on
I
it.
was the baby.
You were the baby.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't home.
Oh,
yeah.
but this is when we were older.
Yeah.
I was home when we got that furnace. I was home when we had the wood stove.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I was home in the first grade.
Okay. Oh, really?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, the school bus would pick me up
That's right. I
and
remember
take me
that
to
school
Gordon
bus.
School.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I thought it
And
was
we had a dog, Cha-Cha? No, that was
No,
me.
That's a long time.
Cha-Cha.
And I think it was at Gorman School. My mom would give me a dime,
Yeah,
and that would buy my lunch at Gorman School.
yeah.
What?
A dime for lunch at
Oh.
school. Well, anyway, let's talk about this poker.
Let's,
This poker was a rod with a loop on the end, a handle, and it went straight, and then it had a little crickle, it had a little angle on it, and it
Yeah.
would stop there.
Yeah.
And I would get that poker, and I would get it in that stove, and it would get red hot. And I would go around in the basement and brand things with it.
did Mother know you were doing that?
Yeah.
She kind of suspected when she saw the burnt spots.
We'd have a fire.
Yeah, burn house
I
though.
could have. Well, actually, it would just singe it. It would go.
We call that art.
We had there was a door into the
Poor
coal
Mom.
bin. Remember the coal bin?
Oh, sure.
It
Yeah.
had a white door on it, I think. And I would
On a coal bin?
Yeah, I would brand that. It had to have a door
Yeah.
a door on it because when they delivered
The
the
coal bin.
coal, they're in the front of the house.
Yeah.
On one of those pictures is the coal chute.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they would deliver it in a truck, and they had this.
Coal, it all slide down.
Yeah, they had
Yeah,
a metal chute that
exactly.
went right into the coal bin.
Yeah, I remember them.
Yeah, we got.
Mr. and Mrs. Wetzel's house, the one that we got the ride from, and they had poison ivy in their yard. And we would work, and I think we got maybe a dime, right, Dave? Do you remember that? We got a dime for pulling the weeds in our yard. But then the bad thing was we got poison ivy on our hands. I mean, big time poison ivy. Both our hands would be swollen. So then we had to go to the drugstore. We probably maybe paid at least a dime. Maybe we had to pay even more
Oh,
to get the
wow.
medicine to put on our hands.
Calamine lotion was the
Calamine,
Calamine
lotion.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, I remember
Yeah.
that. Oh my goodness.
No gloves. Pulling
No,
weeds.
we pulled all of it. But anyway, we were very blessed with a wonderful mother.
We were very blessed.
Yes, and our father was in the
Yeah.
state institution. What I remember from the time that I was born.
They called it the Dayton State Hospital.
Dayton State
Yeah.
Hospital, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's when he went in. Was that when I was born? You probably wouldn't know either because you were.
No, I don't remember when
So
he went
I'm
in.
not exactly sure when he went in. Do you know when he went in?
I'm trying to think when he went
Yeah.
in.
So he was there until he passed away.
That's a long
But
time.
Uncle Bob would get him
Right?
out
How long
sometimes.
was he?
Let's see. He was probably there at least.
About 20 years.
I was going to
think.
say 20.
I think when we got married. is
Yeah, I
when
think
Well,
that's
we were going
What
to
did he say?
somebody's
About
funeral.
20 years.
Yeah, we were down.
He was
Dayton.
there at the.
Yeah.
I think we were over. I remember him over Reedy.
Yeah. hmm And they
So he
found
would
him.
get
You
out?
know, Dave,
They found
I
him on
think
the
he could have
grounds.
come out. What do you
And I
think?
believe
I
they
don't know.
said
I
he
don't
had a
I
stroke.
don't know that much
Well,
about
I
him.
don't know.
Yeah. So, but anyway, we had in spite of all of that, we had a wonderful family, thanks to our mother, and we had great times, and she was very much of a blessing to all of us.
Mhm.
We learned a lot from her. We
Yes.
learned hard work, that's for sure. You
Yes.
know, because she said it doesn't matter how much money you have. If you can look presentable, and we always were clean, look presentable. We were able to do work, and so we were very blessed.
It was kind of a classy person.
Oh, she was.
She
She
was
was
very
very
classy.
very
Yeah.
beautiful lady.
Yeah,
She
very
was.
classy.
There's some of those photos.
Everything
that,
had to be just so with
Oh,
Mom.
I know. Yeah.
Yes.
hmm
And she tried to teach us.
Oh, she did. Yeah.
She used to do a lot of preaching. Went in one ear and out the other. But we
Aunt Jenny, were
learned.
you the wild one?
I was a while. Poor Mom. Oh, I was wild, wasn't I?
Yeah, that's right, Joe.
You're ornery. And I could see with that poker. Well, you was really getting it.
I was the oldest.
Yeah. Me
I
too.
know I wasn't a very nice person.
Oh,
But I was honored.
no, you were a good person.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you.
I love you.
I love you too. You too, bro.
I love you too.
I love you too.
Two of you.
Oh, dude.
Take that thing off.
He's Amish.
What?
Oh, Amish.
Oh, I believe.
Last year I planted some Amish paste tomatoes.
Yeah, you're
Yeah, I
talking
was
about
telling you about Amish paste.
Oh, brother.
I got some